My name's Amber Baker, and we're here in Portland, Oregon, on Sauvie Island, which is an agricultural area just outside of the city. And I work with an organization called Village Gardens at Janus Youth Programs, and we're here on the FoodWorks farm, which is our youth-run farm project. We work in partnership with public housing residents in the city of Portland to grow and share food and build skills and support community leadership. Our youth program FoodWorks works with teenagers from the neighborhoods, and they run a small farm business, which is a 1-acre vegetable farm. They sell their produce at farmers markets locally and at a grocery store, and also give away half of what they grow every year for free to neighbors and community members in the public housing complexes that we work in. So one of the things that we really work on at FoodWorks is at a time when growing up as a teenager is is a really hard thing to do, and we're taught as young people that our role in the world and our power in the world is about being consumers, and we're marketed to as consumers, and we're seen as consumers, and we're not. I think young people aren't really taken very seriously by adults as much either. And I think one of the things that FoodWorks is doing and has given young people an opportunity to explore is the idea of being a producer themselves. And I think that that's really powerful. And I think that year after year, we have youth that walk away and are just like, I had no idea that I could do this. I had no idea, that I could plant something and see it all the way through to the very end. And that's been something that's been really meaningful and profound for the young folks. And I think that has an impact on the larger community as well, especially working with youth of color in a city that is 80% white. Being in places like the farmers market that is like a white culture part of the community for the most part, and we're working on that certainly, but it's been interesting to see the impact that it has to engage youth of color in that environment, in terms of changing perspective and challenging stereotypes in the city, towards those youth that are here. And I think there've been so many opportunities for that kind of understanding to happen, and it's still really challenging too, to deal with the perceptions that folks have. But I think it's a really amazing opportunity for our youth to really sort of publicly proclaim that they are productive, contributing young people in the world. And actually, the youth, I think the main thing that they take away is being able to give back to their community, and working to give away free food in the neighborhood is something that they are so proud of, and they share that story as many times as they can, and they have their numbers memorized of how many pounds they distributed, and that's been really powerful. I think also Village Gardens, as a program, is working with a part of the community that hasn't been involved in sort of Portland's reputation as this great food mecca. There's all these great restaurants here, and there's tons of local food. I mean, you can walk in anywhere and they're buying all their everything from within 100 miles, which is really amazing, but it's still definitely a certain part of the community, and people of color and low-income folks are not part of those conversations for the most part. And I think that Portland is trying, and a lot of the city and county groups that are working on food issues are trying to include folks who haven't been at the table before. And Village Gardens is really working to build capacity of folks to be able to do that and create opportunities for bridging the folks that we work with who are powerful, amazing community builders around food and health, and understand very clearly the importance of those issues in their communities and for their families, but just aren't in the same circles and aren't invited, or people don't pick up the phone and call hey, would you come to our meeting? And so I think that as being a program, we're starting to be a place where people are oh wait, we should call them. I remember this powerful woman from New York, from the Bronx, who I met at a gathering a couple months ago, said, you gotta never forget the power of the phone call. You gotta just pick up the phone and call. And I think we're still working on that here, but my hope is that our program is at least a starting point for engaging folks, and really helping to educate the rest of the community and the rest of the city on the powerful food work that's going on in the housing developments that maybe they've never even been to before, and don't necessarily automatically see as part of their food culture or food system here in Portland. But I think it's going that way, and I feel really hopeful. And there's definitely like eagerness and excitement for the folks in our program to share the work that they've been doing.